Welcome back to the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marcus Marx. It's been a few weeks since I uploaded on this channel. It's a podcast in specific. A podcast particularly. Um, I got on my vlogging tip. I don't even say that, dude. Why am I being so fake? I started vlogging. uh, so I got real into that, and I was really enjoying the process, like of coming out of my comfort zone and finding those angles, that would tie good with this type of music, and then creating the background music for it and setting up the shots and the lighting and everything, and going out to destinations and vlogging myself getting out. It was nice, and it was a big change because prior to that I had just been cooped up in the house. I wasn't really doing much. um I was just hanging out here at home and really just secluding myself and hiding from the world. And with anybody that's clinically depressed or has any type of mental illness, seclusion can be a very bad thing. So vlogging for me really pulled me out of that, and I really enjoyed it. But like I said, I have a tendency to get bored with things. It's not that I don't like vlogging, and I really do enjoy it. But it was pushing me out of my comfort zone so much to the point where it led to the next thing, which led me into my fitness. And you guys saw it. You saw my first healthy meal that I had, and it was kind of that day that I decided, like, look, I need to get back healthy, and I need to get back on my fitness regimen, and so I could, be better, feel better, think better, look better, everything. I want my confidence back, because I was lacking for a very long time. And a lot of people may not think that I was even overweight, but you know what? The mental weight outweighs the physical a lot for me. And you know what? I mean, I didn't look good with my shirt off, you know? So, I mean, I looked all right, but it's like I don't look how I know that I can look, and how I looked before, how I used to look. Um, Before shit got really bad. And when I was a youngin', my metabolism was blazing, and I was able to eat fast food and it wouldn't affect me, because I was so active. But now it's just a complete polar opposite. So vlogging kind of led me into my fitness. And once I do something, I don't like to do it half-ass. I like to do everything full throttle. And I know that sometimes that has its negative side effects because oftentimes that will lead to a burnout, you know, and I can't afford to do that with fitness. And that's why I kind of stopped vlogging, because I feel like I'll be doing too much, like setting up the shots and doing the workout at the same time. It turns into this whole thing where now I'm worried about the lighting and the camera and the audio when I should be focusing on my workout. So what I'm gonna have to do is just vlog it before and afterwards, or just catch a little B-roll of me doing some cardio or whatever. But I'm not gonna full out vlog it and make it a workout channel. I'm not gonna do that. But you guys will see the transformation. So that's where vlogging kind of led me. I really, really started getting into my fitness and my diet, especially. I took 2 weeks just to diet, clean, and stretch. So I'm on week 3 now. And I started working out and doing cardio last week. And already I'm starting to see a little bit of results. It's not a lot, but mentally I feel a lot better because I've went 3 weeks aside, 1 day straight. Um, Eating clean. I've only had one cheat day, and I don't really plan on having a lot more than that. My fiance, she tends to eat what I cook. So if I'm eating clean all week, she's obviously obligated to eat as well because, there's cooked food on the table, on the stove. So she's been a soldier, man. She hasn't complained at all. Um, so if I do have a cheat day, it's just to restore her morale. I wanna give her something to look forward to, because she still enjoys those foods, and she doesn't have a weight problem. She's not clinically depressed like I am. She don't deal with bipolar. I mean, she lives with somebody who deals with it, and that's just as bad. And, she needs her therapy too. But I was a big comfort eater, man, and I don't miss it, but I totally understand how looking forward to something like a delicious pizza at the end of the day after your work day can play a huge factor on your PMA, positive mental attitude, and your morale. So like I said, if I do have a cheat day, periodically every now and then, it's gonna be because I want to treat her. You know what I mean? I want to be able to enjoy that a certain type of meal with her, like pizza or something. Because we used to love getting pizza all the time. That was one of the huge things for us. If I'm having a fucked up day, um, I'll go grab a pizza, man. And that's kind of how shit happened to be in the first place. I just ended up indulging because I kept comfort eating and comfort eating and comfort eating, and just it led to me being overweight, and it affected me mentally for sure, 100%. Um, when I was a kid, I had to get I had to be put on this specific diet from the doctor, and it was a corn-free diet. Basically, I went to the doctor and they found out that I was allergic to corn and corn syrup and stuff like that. So anything that had corn in it, I was allergic to it. So it turned into me having to go on this extreme organic diet as a kid, man. And kids love to eat junk food. Kids love candy. I mean, come on, you guys know what it is. If you have anybody out there has kids, you know how hard it is to get them to eat correctly and, have a healthy diet, because between your work day and all your activities that you have to do on top of, their schooling and this and that, like, no wonder you end up in the drive-through at McDonald's. It's just the simpler option at the time. You're just trying to get through the day. And that was the case with my parents. My dad worked a lot, my mom worked a lot. So there would be times where we would just have to eat fast food, but we hit a wall, and I had to get put on this diet. And at the time, I was living with my dad, and he had to go out and buy all this expensive organic food, and I don't even really remember it too much. I just remember hating it, and apparently it affected me positively. Um, and some good results came of that. Obviously, it only lasted for probably not even a month, and then I was back to my old eating habits. But yeah, I mean, so it makes sense to me that when I'm eating all this junk food, I'm consuming poison and I'm putting poison into my body. Um, Aside all the other BS that they put into, processed foods and fast foods and all that stuff. No wonder I was feeling like shit, because I'll tell you right now, and this is the thing about bipolar disorder or whatever the fuck I have, any mental issues that's going on. It's really, really hard for me to decipher if it's from this or if it's from that, or if it's just I'm having a bad day, because my moods are so all over the place, mostly depressed, that I can't differentiate it sometimes. So when I tell you that I'm feeling better because I've been dieting for 3 weeks, I can't really say, like, if it's directly correlated to the diet and just the diet. I could just be baseline right now. The depression might be following. I might be just riding this high, which is allowing me to complete this diet and these workouts. So only time will tell. So I'm keeping an eye on that. But it really feels like, though, that the diet is playing a huge factor, because I don't know, I just feel less aggravated. I feel less irritable. I'm not like hungry every 5 minutes like I was. Like, that was a huge thing too, that the first time I ever did one of these fitness journeys, I was shocked that all my cravings went away because I was eating so clean and my metabolism was where it needed to be and it was super fast. Um, I would eat a clean meal and that was it. I wouldn't really be hungry. Like last night I ate fish, brown rice, and broccoli, and I didn't even finish the fish. Like I finished 3/4 of it, but the meal prior to that was, I had 2 eggs and a kale shake, you know. So that was it for the day. But after I got done with my meal, I had been busy all day. Keep in mind, I wasn't hungry at all. Like I was laying there and the old part of my brain and the old me, the person who would usually just go to straight to the cabinet and pull out some Cheetos and chips. Um, that's normally what I would do. But last night I wasn't hungry at all. And I was laying there and I was like, I want to eat some Cheetos, but like hot Cheetos. I allow myself those because there's no sugar in them. There's sodium, but I'll burn that off. As long as I'm not having like sugar and stuff, asides from the fruit that I have in the morning. Um, so I allow myself some Cheetos. So last night I went and I grabbed a bag of Cheetos and I snacked on them. But as I was eating them, I was like, why am I doing this? I'm not even hungry. Like I'm completely satisfied. I just feel like I'm eating because I'm bored. So some of the my prior eating habits and personality is still, there's still residual effects from that. I'm not fully where I need to be, and I need to recognize that when I'm not hungry anymore, I just need to stop. I don't have to go and snack out. I thoroughly enjoy the flavor of hot Cheetos, and it's been my favorite snack since I was a kid, and it's the one thing I don't want to give up. Because I've pretty much given up everything, you know, diet wise, and I'm not eating cheese, I'm not eating bread, I'm not even really drinking milk. I'm just drinking water, straight up, and I'm only having fish, chicken, or what ground turkey, shrimp, whatever, all vegetables, just anything that's healthy for you. I'm limited to that. And if I when I start gaining weight, muscle, and I start putting on, some pounds from muscle and gaining a lot more stamina where I'm to the point where I'm able to go even harder at the gym and I have a hard workout day, then I'll allow myself like a steak, just to replace those calories if I'm not in a caloric deficit. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically why I just haven't been vlogging, just because I've been so tied up in making sure that I'm eating correctly. Because I know that if I'm gonna change my life, it all starts with my diet, and my diet directly reflects my mentality, um, and my mental health. Straight up, it does. I know for me, it's a huge factor. So it's the most important thing right now, other than my fiance. But in order to make her happy, I have to make sure that I'm in the right state of mind. This mic keeps tipping. So that's where I'm at right now. And you know what? I don't feel like I'm gonna slip. I feel pretty strong mentally right now, and I feel like I'm on a good path right now, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna see what this place has to offer. Let me take a drink of water. I'm gonna see what this place has to offer. So I haven't put out this vlog yet. I mean, you guys already know in the vlogs that I called this one place that my insurance covers, and I was supposed to meet with a therapist, which refers me to a psychiatrist. Reschedules me the first time because of a power outage or whatever. So I waste my time. My fiance took the day off. We drove all the way out of town to go to this appointment. We get there on time and the power goes out. And I'm furious because I had been waiting all month for this scheduled appointment. Whatever. I was pissed. Okay. They reschedule me. The doctor calls me while I'm at the mall. And he's like, hey, man, like, I'm so sorry that um, you guys got rescheduled. The power went off. It's out of our control and this and that. And he basically did my assessment over the phone that day while I was shopping at the mall. So I'm like walking through the mall, you know, uh, divulging all my personal information to people that I'm passing in the hallway. So very uncomfortable, but I like the vibe that I got from him overall. That's what I said in the vlog. So I was pumped up to go to my next appointment. So he schedules me for like that following Monday, which was like 5 days later or something like that. Or no, like 3 days later. And my fiance, she takes the day off again. So we get our stuff ready for that morning. We head out. We're on time, and halfway there, he calls and he said, or the office calls and says that he has to be out of the office. So he reschedules me again. So I was even more furious, and I ended up vlogging that. But I didn't post it just because I was so furious. So they scheduled me for like another 3 weeks out. And in the meantime, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. And finally I get my appointment with him. I go see him. He's there. By some divine miracle, he's there. And we're walking in like towards his office. I was like, "Hey man, what's going on? Like, you all right?" He's like, I was like, "You rescheduled me twice." He's like, "Yeah, man, I had insomnia last night." I was like, "Bro, you reschedule me because you had insomnia? Like, come on, dude. Like, red flag number 2 already." Sit in his office. I talked with him for about 45 minutes, and I did not like the shit he was telling me. And I know I felt crazy for thinking it, but when I got out of there, I was like, this guy seems like an idiot. Like, because there was a couple things. Keep in mind, if I had vlogged it, which they didn't let me, I was going to. You guys would have caught into some stuff that he was telling me. That you'd be like, I don't think that a doctor should be telling a patient this type of stuff. So that was flag number 3. And already I was very skeptical at that point of continuing to see this doctor. But everyone was telling me, just give him a chance, give him a chance. I was like, guys, listen to me, please, just listen to me. Because I can be stubborn, but still, I know what I saw, know what I heard. Reschedules me for another appointment that same day. Long story short, he ends up canceling that following appointment. And the same scenario happened. I'm on my way out there. As I'm on my way out there, I'm halfway there. The office calls me again and tells me he has to step out of the office. So I was furious. I ended up just driving to the office, and I went into the office and I said, "Hey, this guy has rescheduled me 3 times already because of whatever. I don't know, but he can't be doing this. I'm trying to get my mental health in order. I'm trying to seek help so I can get on medication. And I know that doesn't come from him. The therapy comes from him, but he's the one that's going to give the psychiatrist the information about me. And my appointment with the psychiatrist coming up at the end of the month, next month. So he needs to have as much information about me as he possibly can. But that's not going to happen if he keeps rescheduling me." I was furious. I was like, I'm done with this guy. You guys need to check him, do whatever. They're all like, you want to talk to the manager and this and that? I was like, no, that's not going to do anything. Just so you guys know, like, this is what he's doing. So later that day, I go home and this guy keeps blowing me up on the phone. Like, he keeps calling me. Like, I guess he went back to the office or something like 2-3 hours later. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry that I had to step out. And if you're still in town, you can come. I really want you to get your session in today." And he wouldn't stop calling me. He wouldn't stop calling me. So I picked up and I said, "Man, go fuck yourself, please. Like, seriously, just stop calling me." And he kept calling me. I hung up on him and he kept calling me. And I haven't picked up his phone call. I don't want to talk to this guy. He fuck that guy straight up. So you're lucky I don't say your name. It's not in me. But yeah, so a couple weeks go by and I'm like, well, I talked to my mom and she says that she still has the information of the doctor that she used to go to when she was younger. He doesn't practice anymore, but he has some offices in our area and practitioners that work under him. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance. What's his number and this and that. And even when my mom was like speaking to him, I told her everything that happened with this other doctor. And he was like, no, 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 no. Like, you don't need to be dealing with that type of place. Like, that's completely unprofessional. I can't believe that he would do that to a patient, especially 3 times in a row, 4 total. And he was just like, no, you need to come to this place. So following week comes, I go in there. They take like a couple days later, because they take walk-ins. I go over there and it's in the hood. I'm just like, man, dude, another one of these places, man. Like, I'm so done with these places. Like, these bottom of the barrel Dollar Tree psychiatrists and therapists. Like, I'm tired of it. These bootleg fucking doctors, man. I'm just like, but that's me just judging a book by its cover, because I've been there before, and I've experienced it and I know what's to come of these places. Like, I've been around the block before when it comes to this type of shit. And so I know what I'm talking about, you know? But I end up walking in there, get some information, whatever. Couple of days go by, they call me and they give me an hour and 45 minute assessment. And out of that assessment, he gathered some information. And long story short, I'm gonna get put on a 12-month treatment plan. So it's gonna start with therapy. I haven't started it yet. I have my first appointment Monday, and um, it's gonna be all phone though. So that's the only downside of this whole thing, and that's because of COVID. That I'm not gonna be able to like have the full experience of therapy in person, one on one, where you can read body language and this and that. It's gonna be through the phone, so there's gonna be some miscommunication and some stuff's gonna get lost in translation because of that. So I'm a little discouraged about that, but on the upside, I've got the ball rolling. So I'm gonna give it a chance, and then they're gonna you know, give me a doctor, a psychiatrist, and I'm gonna see what my treatment plan is. And it's gonna be a 12-month treatment plan though. And their goal is to get me from feeling like shit 7 days a week to feeling like shit 4 days a week. That's basically the layman's term. So it's progress, because like I said, you're not cured from this ever. It's just something that you have to live with and maintain. But that's where this fitness comes in. And hopefully if I can get to if I can keep doing this, hopefully it makes a greater impact than any therapy can, because it's also therapy for me as well. So that's where I'm at right now. A lot of stuff has happened between the vlogs and since I've done the last podcast, and I've come a long way already. And I can tell my fiance is very happy for me because she's right there with me. She sees me every day and she gets to see how much this impacts me and how much shit I've been through, over the years. And everyone has their stories, man. And I know, and I've heard some fucking crazy ones, and I know some people with some crazy ones. And I don't have it nearly as bad as you guys. So my hat's off to you guys, but struggle is struggle, and mental illness is no fucking joke, It really isn't. People lose lives over this shit. And I wanted to take my life so many times because of this shit. And it just seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm not trying to take away from my story or yours. I'm just saying pain is pain. Your pain may be greater than mine, but it feels the same as the level of my greatest pain. My maximum threshold for pain might feel the same as yours does, you know. But there's no way to know. It's just the only way we can ever convey that to each other is communicating, and just looking somebody in their eyes and listening to their story and seeing what they have to say. But pain is pain, and we're all equal when it comes to that. We all have emotions. Some, yeah, there are sociopaths and psychopaths out there and narcissists, but you know what? At the core of our being, I feel like everybody just wants to be loved. And that's really what it is and what all this shit is about. And I want to be at peace. I'm tired of battling with myself. And I'm lucky that I caught it this soon because I could have let another decade go by where I just torture myself, and I'm my own worst critic. I'm tired of looking in the mirror being disgusted. I want to look in the mirror and know that I've been accountable and know that I've I've uh I've I've ringed out the rag of potential all the way till its last drop. I don't want to leave anything on the table. And you know what? That's real. I'm gonna go out on a ledge here and say that I'm not bullshitting. I'm finally not bullshitting myself for once. Because there's plenty of times where I just want to stop doing what I'm doing. Nobody wants to be on a strict fucking diet like this and have to eat this clean and monitor this and not be able to drink because it's gonna turn you into a depressed, fucking hopeless whatever the next day. I don't want to go out and be socially awkward and this and that because my mental, like, no, I want to enjoy this life. I'm tired of torturing myself, and I really, really want to get the most out of life, because I haven't been for as long as I've been alive. And I don't remember the last time that I was happy other than when I met my fiance. And we've had some rough times, no doubt, no doubt at all. But um, we've also had a lot of good times, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I'm very, very lucky. I know that I am. I know that there's, like I said, people in a much worse position than me. And to those of you who are and look at me like, what are you complaining about? Um, just understand we all have our stories, and like I said, my hat's off to you. And whatever you do, just don't give up. Just keep going and keep pushing and maintain that mentality that you have if you are on a roll. And if you're not, then do something about it. You got to be the one to change it. And I'm not preaching. I'm just I practice what I preach. If anything, I do exactly what I say I'm doing. I wouldn't tell you guys to do anything that I'm not doing myself. I would never do that. I would feel like an imposter. Um, and I felt like one before too, but that's where holding yourself accountable comes into play. So I don't know. I don't even have a weekly challenge this week. It's just I wanted to keep this simple. I don't want to complicate it. I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit. This is my second podcast I did today. Um, I have a podcast that's coming out um with a guy named Lee Sayat, and he was. I apologize. I apologize if I explain this in the beginning. If not, I'll cut it out. But did I explain this shit already? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna be on his podcast, and I kind of explained everything already on there as far as my fitness goes and everything. If I didn't mention it already, his name's Lee Sayat. He's from the Church of What's Happening Now podcast with Joey Diaz and Lee Sayat. He's very big in the podcast industry. He fucks with Joe Rogan and all them. So this is his engineer, and they were on a podcast together for 7 years. Uh, COVID happened; they had to split. So he started his own podcast, and he's reaching out. He wanted people to call in and give their stories. So that's what I did. I reached out to him, email, and luckily he got back to me. So that podcast is gonna come out 4 to 6 weeks, he says. So by the time that comes out, I'm gonna be already light years ahead of where I am now, fitness wise and mentally, hopefully. God willing. So I might need to go back and edit that and put this into there. But that by the time that comes out, I'm already probably doing my medication and probably let me see, like 9 weeks into my almost 10 weeks into my fitness journey. So this is week 3 right now. So I can't wait to see that podcast come out. And I set it up like this for the podcast and everything. I wanted to give him the option of like, hey, I'll send you this edited version of the video, and I'll do everything. I just want you to have, because it was through Zoom. I want you to have high quality on your end. But he said because of the editing process, he just wants to make it as easy as possible. That he's just gonna stick with the Zoom. So it's gonna be on my phone. The video on my end that comes out on his podcast is gonna be the FaceTime on my phone that I'm, zooming him through. So it is what it is. But you'll have the higher quality version on mine. But I'm definitely gonna drop his link in the descriptions when it comes out. Um, and I'll notify you guys of that. But in the meantime, though, we'll see what happens, and I'll probably put a vlog out with some older stuff, older footage that I started vlogging before this podcast. So don't get confused if I talk about some of the same shit. But that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It's been 30 minutes already. Like I said, I wanted to keep these half an hour. Totally consumable, easy. So my name is Marcus Marx. This is the PO3 Podcast, and I hope you guys have a good week. We'll catch you on the next one.